Tomorrow morning, an alarm will pull you out of sleep. You'll brush your teeth, drink your coffee, maybe scroll through your phone. Then you'll go to work. You probably won't think about why. Because for most of us, work isn't something we choose every morning. It's simply what tomorrow expects. But here's something strange. For almost every person alive today, work occupies more of life than family, more than friendship, more than love, sometimes even more than sleep. Thousands of hours, hundreds of thousands of repetitive movements, entire decades, given to tasks that disappear the moment they're finished. A cleaner mops a floor, only for someone to dirty it again. A warehouse worker stacks boxes that will be opened tomorrow. A miner spends years underground, so strangers can power homes they'll never visit. A farmer wakes before sunrise, so cities they've never seen can eat breakfast. And yet, most of these people didn't dream about doing these jobs as children. So here's the question. If work consumes so much of our lives, why do so many people spend those lives doing work they never actually chose? And perhaps an even stranger question. Has it always been this way? Because the answer goes back much further than factories, much further than cities, further than money itself. Imagine waking up 40,000 years ago. There are no clocks, no shifts, no managers, no resumes, no Mondays, only sunlight, only weather, only survival. For hunter-gatherers, labor wasn't divided into careers. Everyone gathered, everyone searched, everyone repaired, everyone carried. Work wasn't an identity. It was simply another part of being alive. Anthropologists studying many traditional hunter-gatherer societies have found something unexpected. Contrary to what most of us imagine, they often spent fewer hours on food gathering than many modern people spend at work. Not because life was easy. Far from it. Because survival rewarded efficiency. When today's food had been found, there wasn't another spreadsheet waiting. There wasn't another email. There wasn't another promotion to chase. There was conversation, storytelling, rest, music, children, fire. So when, exactly, did work become something that owns us? The turning point wasn't a machine. It was a seed. Around 12,000 years ago, humans began planting crops. Agriculture changed everything. For the first time, food could be stored, land could be owned, surpluses could be counted. And once something can be counted, it can also be taxed, protected, controlled, stolen. Suddenly, someone had more, someone else had less. Civilizations grew, kings appeared, armies appeared. So did specialization. Some people built houses, others forged metal, others wrote laws, others cleaned streets. The very idea of your job was born. And with it, a quiet trade. Humans gained civilization, but many lost freedom over how they spent their days. Here's what's fascinating. Psychologists often distinguish between intrinsic motivation, doing something because it feels meaningful, and extrinsic motivation, doing it for survival, money, or external reward. The difference changes not just happiness, but the brain itself. When people feel they have autonomy, the brain's reward systems become more engaged. The same task can feel lighter. The same effort, less exhausting. So perhaps, the true weight of labor isn't measured in kilograms. It's measured in choice. Look around your room. The chair beneath you. The electricity powering your screen. The clothes you're wearing. The road outside. Every object is carrying fingerprints of people you'll never meet. Some woke before dawn. Some worked through blistering heat. Some inhaled dust. Some stood for 12 hours. Some smiled politely at strangers while hiding worries of their own. Modern civilization performs an extraordinary illusion. It makes labor disappear. You see the supermarket shelf, not the truck driver. You see clean streets, not the sanitation worker at 4 a.m. You see coffee, not the hands that harvested it, The more efficient society becomes, the less visible its workers become. And what becomes invisible is often forgotten. But here's the part nobody talks about. People don't survive difficult work only because they need money. They survive because humans are extraordinary makers of meaning. A nurse doesn't only administer medicine. She witnesses lives changing. A construction worker doesn't simply pour concrete. Years later, children may play inside the school they helped build. A parent working 2 jobs may never love either occupation. Yet every exhausting shift quietly says, I carried this, so someone I love wouldn't have to. Meaning often arrives after effort, not before it. Perhaps that's why psychologists consistently find that purpose isn't always found in pleasurable work. Sometimes, it's found in knowing who benefits from the burden. The burden stays heavy, but it no longer feels empty. Now, machines are learning to work. Artificial intelligence writes. Robots assemble. Algorithms schedule. For centuries, humans dreamed of escaping labor. But here's the paradox. If one day machines perform every necessary task, what will humans do? Because history suggests something surprising. People rarely seek lives without effort. They seek lives where effort matters. Retirement often brings freedom, but also unexpected loneliness. Winning the lottery doesn't guarantee fulfillment. Because work was never only about producing. It was also about belonging, contribution, identity. The question isn't whether technology will remove labor. The question is, what meaning will replace it? Tomorrow morning, millions of people will wake before sunrise. Some excited, some exhausted, some counting the hours until they can go home, some wondering whether this is all life will ever be. Yet every city, every bridge, every hospital, every book, every meal, exists because someone carried a weight they didn't necessarily choose. Perhaps that's the forgotten story of civilization. It wasn't built by extraordinary people following extraordinary dreams. It was built by ordinary people, showing up again, and again, and again. Maybe that's what dignity has always looked like. Not loving every task, not finding purpose every day, but carrying what must be carried, so tomorrow can exist. Because in the end, the weight we carry becomes the world someone else gets to live in. And most of us never even notice who carried it.